Bitch, I really filmed for like a minute for my mic to not work in those videos. So here we are having a moment of refilming my shit. When change in your life is needed, when you know there is a change that needs to be done, when you know that change needs to be injected into your fucking veins because you know it's good for you, I'm talking about that change, right? Something I realized before I ever even took action is that I learned that within my mind, I really need to encourage myself and give myself reminders on considerations, even consequences when I am put in a position where I have to show up or not. I want to talk about four things that I like to consider reminders to encourage myself to push forward for that change, right? Yeah. Normal people equals normal results. This is more so for my people who have a bigger goal in mind, bigger dreams in mind. You will not reach your goal to its full extent by doing mundane things. Mundane things equals mundane outcomes. Exceptional people equal exceptional results. Listen, nowadays, a lot of people are good. They're good at what they do. So good is the standard. Good is average now. For example, when it comes to video editing, when it comes to content creation actually, everyone knows what apps to use. Everyone knows what transitions are. They know how to use them. They know how to apply them. You keep doing that same thing, if you keep using the same trending audios, the same structure of a makeup video, of a get ready with me, especially word to word, to some extent, it will push you a bit further because that's what the masses like, right? But it's not good long term. And obviously, within our own goals, it may be similar to a person that we're currently looking up to, aspiring to. But with our own goals, we have to remember that our reality is not the same as this person. Because of who we are, our circumstances, it will look different. You will only get so far with sticking to the average, sticking to the template. That's why people are encouraged to be their own person, to have a personality in the first place, because having a personality will bring you far. You cannot keep doing the same routine, the same following the same habits, having the mindset that you have now. When future you, lack of a better word, better, because they are in a position where they have this lifestyle and they have this mindset, these achievements, these successes, think to yourself, what does it take to bring yourself to that position? What is it going to take for you to live that life? When it comes to goal setting, you have to embody what future you is like. Feelings, emotions, environment, habits, mindset. All those aspects of your being is what it took to be in that position. You are literally guaranteed. You are guaranteed the same results if you keep being who you are now. If you do not step out of the box, if you don't think out of the box, you are guaranteed the same results or less if you don't do something about it. Just saying. Oh, one of my favorite topics that I will probably make a video on in the future, but there is power in detachment. Detachment is it is a tricky topic. It is something a lot of people consciously, unconsciously know that they are attached to something. The idea of detachment, and this is my own definition of detachment, is that detachment allows you to have space internally, externally, for more. It creates space for you to move forward. The mind has limitations on the way you think, on the possibilities that you may have on this pathway, the opportunities that you may or may not even see. But let's think about imagination, our spirit. Our faith, our soul, whatever you like to call yours, it has no boundaries. It has no limitations. That's why people say when it comes to goal setting, detach from the outcome. Sometimes we put a numerical value, sometimes we put additionals to our goals. At the end of the year, I'm going to have my business, and on my first day, I'm going to make 50 sales. Now, here comes the contradictory part of detachment. People say when it comes to goal setting, you have to detach yourself from the outcome of your goal. But that doesn't mean forgetting about your goal or going blind without a goal. It's just being aware of this is the pathway that I am going to pursue. This is a broad position that I will be or will achieve at the end of my goal. And I suppose we let go of those additional things that we expect when we do achieve said goal. So, what does that mean? What does that look like? When we are walking through our journey in life towards this goal, we are knowing of the goal. We don't remember, we don't forget what our intentions are, where what our pathway is. We're knowing. We're also knowing that we will achieve this goal if if you hold deep importance to it, right? You know that goal is already yours. When we let go of the attachment to these additional things that we know that we will be receiving when we do achieve this goal, we then make room. We then create space internally, sometimes externally as well, for endless detours of possibilities that you could never imagine. And these possibilities, these opportunities that we're now allowing to come into our life may even present itself before the goal is even achieved. And this possibility could either show you something new, it could allow you to gain something, or even allow you to progress forward faster towards your end goal. Ah, just thinking about that, it gives me chills. It literally gives me chills. Honestly, from my personal perspective, detachment has really allowed me to feel more excited about going towards this journey, feeling more excited to endorse change. Ah, it's just such an exciting feeling. Instead of aiming for one, two, three, right? We allow for 10, we allow for 20 things to possibly occur within this journey. And now we get to reap the benefits of detachment because we are not attached to one, two, three goal, right? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that exciting? Life moves forward, and detachment almost erases the idea of limitations because you're always aiming for growth. You're aiming for space, space to create, to play, to feel free in. That is the idea of detachment. Stagnancy and feeling lost. It is a sign that something needs to be either switched or changed completely. Stagnancy could be extreme to your whole life feeling stagnant, to more very specific things of job stagnancy, creative stagnancy. Stagnancy in love is also a sign of your avatar, your identity, your life being outdated. Sometimes people are so deep in stagnancy that they hit the wall of them realizing that they are living a life that isn't even theirs anymore. And it's sad. It really is sad. Sometimes it is enforced by your friends. No, I outgrew my partying phase. I got it out of my system. I didn't even have it in the first place, but I was there. I was having fun. I was going out like every second weekend like that to have fun with my friends. It was a point where I'm just like, I'm not having fun anymore. Like it just doesn't hit the same. But for some people, they continue to do that knowing they don't hit the same. Then it low key becomes a people pleasing thing where they have to, you know, upkeep doing these activities just because, your friends are doing it. When you still had and do have the option to say no. It also goes into family, especially if you're Asian. Your family tells you to embody someone that you're not. What I would recommend is to take the time to listen to yourself. Take the time to trust your inner thoughts, your intuition, your heart, however you may call it, and pay attention closely to what the internal is saying. To extreme extents, the body can become sick when it is not thriving in an environment. Not even an environment, but thriving in emotions that are causing suffering. And unfortunately, I have seen that in my family where diseases have been manifested through depression and avoidment and stress. The body, the mind, your soul, it will tell you if it needs movement, if it needs stillness, alone time, if you need to play and create, or even if you need to socialize with people. But if you are struggling to see what the internal is saying, see what your external is portraying to you. What you are seeing on the external is is a reflection of what is going on inside your head. See the people, see the conversations that are happening, see the circumstances that your life is in. All I'm saying is pay attention. Pay attention to this phase of life. You are responsible for how your life will play out. I said it. Take responsibility. Let's go back to the idea of detachment, right? Back to the idea of the journeys that we are all taking within this lifetime. The whole point of the journey that we take in life is to experience. It is to experience challenges, to experience both good and bad, to then take lessons from here and there. You are responsible for who you surround yourself with. You are responsible for what you eat. You are responsible for the habits that you gain, that you lose. Because obviously, circumstances, some things are just out of your control, and we also have to take that into consideration. But as life moves on and as you enter and exit out of phases of life, you are the one who is making the decisions. You are the one who is calling the shots. You are the one who is actively choosing what will come next out of this movie that you are directing. Let's be honest now. A lot of us are scared of ourselves. Sometimes it is because of lack, could be a lack of trust, it could be a lack of self-love, it could be a lack of something monetary even. It could be knowing that we did something shameful in the past. But from there, life moves on and the movie continues to play. Life does not stop. The past, the future, it doesn't exist. It happened. It will be happening. But we're here. We're here, and the decision, the choices, they start here. Obviously, we don't want to blame ourselves because then we feel like shit. We don't want to feel feelings of guilt and shame. It's a human thing. However, we then tend to blame it on the external. An example that I have been seeing recently, and before I say anything, context, situations, hypothetically. Let's talk about people with like full-time jobs, even older people. They be complaining about money. They're not making enough money. Management is shit, right? And now they blame the job. They now blame the manager, which to some extent it is partly their fault. But if you are in a situation where you can change jobs or even create a pathway or a situation where you can eventually change a job, then do it. Don't stay there and complain, because I know people who suffer, they love to complain. I felt that. I felt that. But if you can change your circumstances, if you can change the outcome, then do it. The job, the people, the algorithm. Bitch, if if you keep doing the same damn thing as the next person and you're complaining about how you are not seeing the results that you want, you need to step out of the box. Normal people get normal results. People who are already doing something different, obviously they are not excluded of the algorithm. The algorithm may suck. However, when the opportunity, when the moment does come for you to blow up, you are more likely to have amazing opportunities to follow up because you are different. Because you have personality, girl. You have personality. But you can't always blame the external. Sometimes it really is an external thing. It is a you problem. It is a you problem. And honestly, you might as well get it out of the way now. Admit, forgive, let go, and move on. We are the creators of our life, and we get to thankfully choose how our life will move forward. And once you deep that, once you realize that I am the creator of this life, you will feel an abundance of possibilities that you could ever imagine. Especially if you feel lost, feel stagnant. It's a blessing in disguise. It is a blessing in disguise because that space of nothingness can be created into something that is worth living for, worth exploring, worth trying. It is a space for something new to grow. Period. Now, listen, fear is bad. Fear is a bad emotion to have, but I'm going to use it hypothetically to scare you into changing. But be scared of a boring life. Be afraid of saying my life sucks. Be scared of not being someone that you're not. This is freedom. This is internal freedom of knowing that you get to call the shots. This is a gateway to feeling more excited about creating the rest of your life. It starts now, it starts here, and it starts with the decisions that you make on the daily. Yes. So, anyways, I hope you took something from that. I'm hungry and I'm starting to be delirious, low key. So, I need to eat. Remember to like and subscribe. We're almost we're almost at 100 subscribers, and I was really deeping that this is really a milestone. So, thank you to those who have been here since I first posted my video like 3 months ago. Leave me a comment on what you tell yourself to encourage yourself to change, to implement change. I'm interested. Anyways, talk to you later.